Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and my last lend out for 2024 is this Dongfeng Aeolus Mage Turbo, and I would say already this is one of the sportiest compact crossovers that you can buy today. So with the looks of this all-new Mage Turbo, you get a very nice V-shaped grille with a lot of black stuff and chrome slits around them. The ground clearance is around 200 millimeters, surprisingly pretty high for a compact crossover. And as you can see on the side profile, it's, I would say, generic like with all crossovers. So that means this competes with a lot. So we got the GAC Imco, Toyota RAV4, Chevrolet Trax, Mazda CX-5, just to name a few only. And this is already a competitive segment in our market. I want to show you guys on how this will stack up. And these are running too on 235, 55, and 19 series tires, which is pretty big for a standard vehicle. Cladding too, but at least there's a chrome slit, so it makes up for it not to being all black. And of course, being an all black color for this vehicle, it looks pretty nice, I have to say. You get repeaters on the side mirror along with your cameras, and you have roof rails and with the panoramic sunroof that stretches all the way to the rear seats. Powering this Dongfeng Aeolus Mage Turbo is your usual 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that is exactly the same like what you get in the huge hybrid without the drivetrain itself. But Dongfeng peppered this engine, so this one produces a whopping 201 horsepower and 305 Newton meters of torque, mated this time to a 7-speed wet type dual clutch transmission. So that's what the title says in this video. This is the sportiest and probably the most powerful one too in this segment, and I really can't wait to show you guys on how this performs. And back to, well, a little bit of a history lesson once again for all of my new viewers out there. Like that of the Aeolus Huge Hybrid, this is actually a sub-brand of Dongfeng, but I don't know why here in the Philippines they decided just to fuse the names all together, and you get a camera underneath just below the Aeolus badge. Before we proceed to the rear, so this is the key of the Mage Turbo. If I unlock this vehicle, it has Aston Martin style door handles, and finally here at the rear. So for this entire design, it's a little bit similar like that of the Chevrolet Trax. It's a little bit lower than usual. You get even aggressive spoilers over here that is very similar like with that of the Chang'an vehicles and the JC Mco and M-Zone, as I mentioned. And like with some of those vehicles, you get an LED light bar that stretches all the way across, which I like. And you get the Aeolus badge over here. A little bit of a nitpick. I wish it was the glowing effect like that of the Huge. So I have a separate review of that. Check that out on my channel. And yeah, I think like that of the Huge Hybrid, yes, you have quad exhaust pipes, but they're not real. The real exhausts are located further down below. Again, very similar like what that of the Aeolus Huge Hybrid. Now, open the boot up. It's probably on par 2 with its competition. This is around like 500 liters, and you can literally pack up all of your belongings if you want to go to the province and all that. And it will stretch to almost 1,000 liters once you fold all of the seats down. You can even fit a, 64-inch TV here at the rear. Yes, I have tried that myself. And underneath, you get a space saver donut type tire, halogen light. And again, like with most Chinese vehicles, there's like provisions here for a tonneau cover, but sadly, this Aeolus Mage is not equipped with it. Now, this is the interior of this Dongfeng Aeolus Mage. Here in the door card, there's a lot of squeegee material and soft touches all around, and white stitching here too. Cubby spaces and cup holders on either side. You only can fit a small one. Sadly, not my big ones. That's why I have this one with me today. And let's start this one up. Here we go. And as you can see, this interior is dominated by 2 large screens. One for your 10.25-inch instrument cluster that displays all of your important information. And oddly enough, you can adjust all of your air conditioning controls, the temperature, and all that with the buttons here on the steering wheel. And you can see more of your driving data. And as you saw from that clip, this Dongfeng Aeolus Mage only has cruise control. Sadly, it's not the adaptive ones that you get in the the higher models and some of its competition. And I believe so too. This is the only one in this class that has a regular cruise control. And for this 13.6-inch infotainment system, literally everything is controlled here. From your driving modes, your rear tailgate, auto hold, rear view mirror. So this rear view mirror adjustments is very similar like what you get with Tesla vehicles. So you can do them here or separately with the buttons on either side of the steering wheel. I got used to it pretty quickly, but if you're not a tech kind of guy, this will be a little bit new. And for your vehicle settings, so these are your electronic power steering controls. So we have comfortable, standard, and sport. I left it in sport mode, and you only get 2 driving modes, surprisingly, normal and sport, and more features with this Aeolus Mage Turbo. The steering wheel itself, it's only a 2-spoke, so it kind of gives an illusion that this is an electric vehicle, but it's still nice to the touch. It's a D shape, again, like that of Aston Martin, and then they took this from Ford and actually Mercedes-Benz, since it's a little bit angled. And sadly, one of my biggest nitpicks with this vehicle, there is no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. However, though, like with that of the 14th Friday, this has Carbit Mirror Link, which I've tried out numerous times. It does the job really well. However, of course, you have to leave your phone on at all times to view everything. But at least you can check out Messenger, Instagram, and all that with that system. And more stuff here with the settings, like for your display colors, your Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, system controls. For your air conditioning controls, once again, it's operated here. And it's very similar like what you get with Tesla vehicles. But sadly, this is just a funny nitpick, I wish you can control the air conditioning vents here too on the screen, knowing they copied Tesla themselves. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And speaking of the vents itself, it's all manually adjusted for obvious reasons, but the edges, aren't they a little bit similar like what you get in the Lamborghini SC63 race car? Get diamond patterns here on the door card and across the dashboard itself, and all squeegee material, leather, and all that. So there's a lot of premiumness with this Aeolus Mage Turbo. So here on the left side, you only get your card slots, and below this screen itself, you get a floating console that houses your phones. But sadly, this is not a wireless charging pad itself. Further down, another pad with a cubby space with one type A USB port and a 12-volt socket. The glove box is actually pretty huge. You can fit more stuff in there, as you saw, besides the documents itself. And here in the center console itself, another cue from Eurobrand. So this is exactly like BMW. So yeah, this is how you shift all of the gears itself. Oh yeah, speaking of, thank you very much. This is your 360-degree camera system. So you have a 2D image with dynamic guidelines, and for your 3D, okay, it's really responsive and the resolution is really good, but you can't control it as is like with your finger. You have to control it separately. And yeah, there's more camera stuff here too, and corner cameras too once you indicate left and right. So put you back into park, electronic parking brake, and another thing, the auto hold is right there. Anyways, center console box, you can slide this forward, so you have 2 small cup holders and an extra space here for your phone, but I don't know why you would put that there, but it's a nice touch by Dongfeng, and the cup holders is really small, as you can see. So my big one will not fit here at all. And further inside, you get a center console box with a lot of space, and you get a cooling function too. So if you want to buy for a night out, don't drink while driving, by the way, yeah, you can put all of your drinks in there. And what I like too, compared with the huge and the 14th Friday, you get sports bucket-ish style seats. I love this, the cushions and all that. And surprisingly, a lot of bolstering for this vehicle too. So again, a bit more of the sporty theme with this Mage Turbo. And above here, you get your LED lights, controls for the panoramic sunroof, visor, you get only a vanity mirror. Don't extend, but at least you have a ticket clip holder. Now for the rear seats of this Dongfeng Aeolus Mage Turbo, here in the door card, pretty much the same like the ones in front, same usual diamond patterns here and there. And the space is on par with the competition. That's a lot of knee and feet room. The headroom, despite the panoramic sunroof, I have a lot of space. And remember, I'm a short person. I am 5'4". And just a couple of toys here at the back, 2 map pockets behind both front seats. And in the middle, you get a sole air conditioning vent along with 1 Type A USB port. And sadly, for fans like us, there's no Type C kind of stuff. And if I sit in the middle, just a wee of a transmission tunnel. Yeah, comfortable as is. And Speaking of, behind this, you have a central armrest with 2 cup holders and once again the seats. It's kind of like a toned down version of the 14th Friday, but the cushion itself is amazing. And this is the first time too I sat here in the back. And above here, you got your grab handle, a coat hanger, and an LED light. The Dongfeng Aeolus Mage Turbo is worth considering because of this. Woo! Yeah, I was not expecting that kind of performance with this Mage Turbo. And advance apologies, I'm wearing shades. Yes, it's raining because I really have bad eye bags during this Christmas Eve. Anyways, I've done my research with this vehicle. This is the most powerful compact value SUV that you can buy today. The performance is so good that I can classify this as a super SUV. 201 horsepower may not sound much compared to the hierarchy, but it's the weight of this car that impressed me the most. The Mage only weighs around 1400 kilograms, which means this has a very good power to weight ratio. Kinda think of this as a I don't know why, a Lamborghini Urus with a 4-cylinder engine, but it weighs like only a ton. That's how I can sum it up altogether. The Mage hybrid version of this somewhere in China and sold elsewhere, not here yet in the Philippines, that has a 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time of 6 seconds. So this one, almost 7 seconds about, is still pretty quick. And as mentioned, this is the fastest compact value SUV that you can buy today. Apologies again that I will keep mentioning the performance of this because it's top-notch. And there's no other SUV in this class, well, crossover rather, that puts a smile on my face compared with this Mage Turbo. DFM have done a good job with the tuning of this vehicle, even on normal mode as we are driving on right now. And then if I just suddenly floor it, oh, there's not much throttle delay nor turbo lag. And that was just a normal mode. I mean, if you put it to sport mode, oh wow, yeah. Even with the electronic stability control on, there is no crossover SUV that can do this. And what it does is amazing for the performance. However, if you're gonna drive this sensibly, this is a very good daily too, I have to say. Just running here now, I'll go a bit faster. Around 60 kilometers per hour. Yeah, it feels at home as a city slicker, a highway cruiser. And if in case you want to track this Dongfeng Aeolus Mage Turbo will do everything with flying colors. The suspension is soft too, as demo here on top of a hump. You can hear a little bit of suspension thuds here and there, but I think I can forgive that because this is a media unit with a lot of mileage already, and this has been all over the country already, and it needs maintenance too, as said here on the dash itself. So again, I'm willing to forgive that, but it goes to show, even though this has driven hard and at a long time too, yeah, the reliability, I assume in the future this will do the job too, and that's what everyone's been looking for with Chinese vehicles. And I will mention now to Dongfeng is one of my top list of Chinese vehicles at the moment. And going back to the suspension too, hold on, after I do this U-turn, remember, I do love all of the camera systems at work and all that, but for some reason now, I just realized the camera is covered with water and yet the sensors did not detect the cones itself. A bit odd with that. Anyway, back to the suspension. It's really good, and go over a hump again. The dampers are really good. I mean, they are more on the softer side of things, hence, given the smooth ride itself, it settles down quite quickly on bumps, even the harshest roads. Just driving here on EDSA on a Christmas day, yeah, I cannot believe, given the performance of this vehicle, this is a very, very comfortable ride. The gearing of this car too is better than I expected. Of course, in normal mode, it tends to gear hunt as such. Okay, I'll just go a bit faster now. There, I'm ready at 40 kilometers per hour, and I'm just in 4th gear, and now 5th gear, it shifted. But even though in normal mode, if you just want to act it up, oh, wow. And now, here's what it's like in full sport mode. Holy suspension test. Wow, okay. Not much suspension TUD over there compared with some of the Chinese crossovers and crossovers too in general that I've tested on this route. And of course, in sport mode, it will tend to hang on the gears a little bit longer, and for obvious reasons, to put its power down way better as such. 30 kilometers per hour. And we're almost at the national speed limit. Wow. The 7-speed wet type dual clutch transmission is really good. It's not as jerky as might one think. For example, from auto hold, then I just want to flow it a bit. Example, you missed your stoplight. Look at that. Okay, and now at pace, so let's do at regular pace, 40 kilometers per hour, and then flow it. You get still a nice surge. Yes, around traffic, you may feel a bit of the jerkiness, but it's not as bad compared with the dry types. And actually, with the rest of the Chinese crossovers with this type of transmissions, this is probably to one of the best tuning wet type dual clutch transmissions I've ever tried out so far. The steering, of course, is light, but at least there's some heft to it at sport, hence why I left it there most of the time. The rest is just too light. Apologies, I forgot the official names. There you go. Comfortable standard. Comfortable is like, look, one finger is really light and standard. Just good ground between sport mode. Yes, sport mode needs a little bit more effort to get the steering wheel moving. But as you saw from those shots, whatever steering mode you are in, the car is really responsive. Not alpha-like, however. Call this like the Alfa Romeo Stelvio in the Chinese crossover segment. Yeah, this is that good. Having a soft suspension, you have a trade-off, which is bodying, but it's still, composed. The NVH is more on the good side. I say that because I wish the windows were a little bit thicker, because you can hear everything, on the background as such. Like, you hear motorcycles going about and all that. And even here on a heavy rainy day, you can hear a lot of the droplets. Of course, excuse too with the sunroof, but you can hear them as well here too on the windows themselves. But the rest though, apart from the windows itself, overall the NVH is really good. Like, again, with the suspension and the tire noise, even though these are not the best branded tires available for this car, this thing is still silky smooth. And I'm currently here on EDSA, again, the testament of this having good NVH. Look at that, not much tire noise. Even this is the harshest of parts of the EDSA itself. Yeah, this is amazing. I keep on commenting about the performance of this. And one might think if this car is thirsty on fuel, but it's not as thirsty as one might think. Even I was surprised too on how fuel efficient this is in a way. For once, I looked for traffic since it's already the Christmas season here in the Philippines by the time of the shoot. PS, I got 7.6 to 8 kilometers per liter. That is still not bad. In mixed driving for both city and highway, it's at around 9 to 10 kilometers per liter. And lastly, on pure highway driving, you can do 16.1 kilometers per liter. That is pretty impressive for a very powerful car. Of course, this is not the biggest of engines. This is your gold standard 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. But for a car that produces 201 horsepower, I would say it's returning decent numbers. And perfect demonstration. I'll turn off the wipers. I'll put you near the windows. Yeah, you can hear the droplets. But it's not as bad. It's just something I tend to notice. And this car is way better than my former daily car in terms of NVH alone. Back with the fuel economy, the figures I mentioned alone, it's almost exactly the same what you get in value performance crossovers, or again, crossovers in general, but they're less powerful and somewhat less fun to drive. For me, this Mage Turbo is ticking all the boxes on, for me personally, as the perfect performance crossover. At 1,248,000 pesos, this is the best value in this segment. Of course, with all of that power. Yeah, once you get past the flaws of this vehicle, like the lack of phone connectivity, apps, and with your advanced safety features, this is still a very good crossover. And it's probably more for the car enthusiast like me. And with that note, I would like to thank everyone here at Dongfeng Motors Philippines for the handout of this Dongfeng Aeolus Mage Turbo, and thank you very much. This is my first ever Christmas handout, means a lot to me. And special thanks to Adrian1011 and Julian Dupit. Check out the reviews of this Aeolus Mage Turbo. It's a long name. Anyway, kidding aside, I wish you everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you with more content in 2025. Bye-bye.
You know, I'm wondering what if he actually left me here standing alone. He wouldn't do that.